Okay friends, so in this tutorial what we're going to do is we're going to write some code that will mimic a dice roll. So in other words, every time we refresh the page, we're getting a dice roll, okay? So I've written out the steps here, so you can pause the video and try to do this yourself, or you can code along with me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called dice roll using the let keyword. You could call it rolled dice as well, or just die, it's up to you, or dice. So let's say let dice roll. Visual Studio Code is anticipating my every move. And let's assign that a value. Well, what we want to do is we want to assign this a value of mat.random and see what happens. So let's say mat.random, and then let's just log this out to the console and see what we get. So we'll say rolled dice result was, and then we're going to have our dice roll. So what's happening here? Well, using the let keyword, I've created a variable called dice roll. Note the use of camel case. The first word dice starts off with a lowercase d, but the second word roll, well, there's a capital or there, okay? Or for Romeo, it's a capital. I've used the assignment operator, so this variable is equal to, it's equal to what? It's equal to mat.random, okay? So we know that mat.random will generate a random number for us between 0 and 0.99. Then we're logging that out to the console. We're just saying console.log, just a string. So rolled dice result was, and then we're going to get some random number. So let me bring down, whoops, you caught me. I was listening to Miley Cyrus, great song. Okay, rolled dice result was, and we have 0.012, 0.52. Okay, great. So we're getting these random numbers, right? Now, in the real world, if you roll a dice, right, you get a number, between 1 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's multiply mat.random by 6 and then see what happens. So if I say mat.random multiplied by 6, what are we going to get? Let's have a look here and refresh. Okay, we get roll dice result was 1.17, 3.5, 1.54. Okay, so the first thing is we kind of want to get rid of everything after the decimal place, and we've seen that in a previous tutorial. So what we can do is we can essentially perform this operation here, generate a random number and multiply it by 6, and then use the mat.floor to round all that down. So what I'm going to do is just put all of that inside of parentheses, okay? And we're going to say mat.floor. So now what's going to happen? Well, we're generating a random number between 0 and 0.99999, and then we're multiplying it by 6, okay? However, to get whole numbers, like 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing, we're then passing mat.random times 6 inside of parentheses to mat.floor. So now if I save and refresh, let's see what happens. And now our code is doing a bit more than just generating a random number. It's generated a random number, we're multiplying it by 6, and then we're rounding down using mat.floor. So now if I go back to the browser and refresh, we get 0, 1, 4, 4, 4 again, 0, 4, 2, 4, a lot of 4s, 1, 5. Okay, so the problem is we're getting zeros. You don't roll a 0. The minimum you roll is 1, and we're not getting a 6 here. So all we need to do to fix that, okay, is at the end of this entire expression, let's just add on 1, okay? And now, if I save and refresh, what should happen is we're going to get a dice roll, i.e. numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Roll dice result was 6. Roll dice result was 1, 2, 2 again, 5, 4, 2, 2, 6, 1, 1, 6, 4. Awesome. Okay, so guys, that is how we can generate a random dice roll in JavaScript. All you need to do, well, first of all, you want to store that result, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inside of a variable. So we said let dice roll be equal to something. We started off by saying mat.random. with our parentheses there. That generates a random number, as I say, between 0 and just under 1. Then what we did is we multiplied that by 6, and then we passed that into mat.floor. That then gives us numbers, between 0 and 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, in the real world, the dice goes from 1 to 6, so at the end, we just add on 1 to it. Okay, awesome. So guys, that's how we can create a dice roll program. It's a mini program that we did here in JavaScript. So that's awesome. We'll continue on our learning journey together, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.